Ignition sequence start. 3, 2, 1.
Houston, we have a problem.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue.
What you're seeing here is a mirage.
What's going on, everyone? It's Jeranism back with another live video for you. Been a little while, so to those who enjoy my content, I do apologize. And to those who do not, you're welcome, but your break from me is over, short-lived, and done. I'm back. So I have a huge backlog of material, if you want to call it that. So my hope is that I will do some of these live streams in order to bang them out, catch up. So for those who don't know, my absence of late is a personal issue. Flat Earth had nothing to do with it. So I got a ton of messages and comments of support. So to anyone who has messaged me or reached out, thank you so much. I appreciate it a ton. It's great to know I have so many friends and people who wish me well. So I do appreciate that. But let's get on with some recent points or happenings. Hopefully keep this one short tonight. I'm only doing it because Iru put the pressure on me to give him a date of when my next live stream would be. So I said, fine, tonight. Happy? There you go. So just getting my feet wet again, basically, and I hope Iru is happy. Let me make sure that everyone's seeing what I'm seeing here. So bear with me a little. There you go. So a few things to discuss. First off, I wanted to talk about the Stephen Hawking issue because I still don't think people fully understand what's going on with that and what happened with that. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Also wanted to just discuss real quick a couple things I've heard from people or seen in comments that I think is insane. I saw somebody say something about, Jaren's selling shirts now. He's doing this all for money because he's selling shirts, which is just crazy. First of all, I think that I have the shirt set at $15 or something. So I think I make like $1 or $2, or I don't even know how much. I haven't sold any. So obviously it's not to make money. I think everyone should have a Flat Earth shirt. I think you should have multiple Flat Earth shirts. I think you should have 7 of them, and you should keep them in regular rotation. And this way, you're always wearing a Flat Earth propaganda shirt. You are pushing the truth. You are trying to get people to take a second look and say, hey, what's that shirt say? What's going on there? And then you can hopefully have a little conversation with them about it. Am I probably not getting any sound or something? That's my guess. Unbelievable. Let's see here. Oh. Thank you. I got a super chat. That's what it was. It wasn't somebody telling me my sound didn't work. It's rare. Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate that so much to Flat Earth New Zealand. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So, yes, and doing that for money, that $5 will help me with the down payment on the Ferrari. It's coming soon. So I just wanted to real quick talk about that and hope that people understand who works for no money. Who does something for $0? You know, who knows a firefighter who's out fighting fires for free? I don't know any. You know, are they doing it for the people of the world, or are they doing it for money? Well, they're doing it for money. Which policeman works for free? I don't know any. So I'm pretty sure that they're doing it for a paycheck. Even people who love their jobs don't necessarily work for free. But ideally, what is better than doing something that you love for money? So even if something like pushing truth on a YouTube channel did eventually make me enough money to quit doing anything else, you can bet your bottom dollar I would do so. Because who wants anything better than that? So I'm pushing truth, talking about things I enjoy, doing videos, making videos, which I enjoy doing, and you get money in return for it, and then you're also helping push the truth and helping the people of the world. That's like the best case scenario. Those things should be being celebrated. Hey, did you hear so-and-so is finally able to make a living pushing truth? Congratulations. Not, don't you know truth should be free? Everything truth should be free. Truth should be free. Well, you're just another person who has fallen for propaganda, who has fallen for the elite's trick, which is everything costs money. Everything. Anything that the governments have ever done has costed a boatload of money. And what else do they recognize? They recognize that all of us who are making these little super chats or who are making videos and making $400 or $500 a month on YouTube ads after putting in hours and hours of work, that we can't do anything with that money. We can't change the world. We can't make observations or make these huge journeys or trips or any kind of, discovering big event. You'll never do that. And the elite know that. And they know that those things come with money. So I've talked about it before that if, and I'm just using this as an example, with 100,000 subscribers, if 100,000 people were to donate $1 each a month, $1. Nobody would even notice the dollar was gone, yet that channel would have $100,000 a month to spend. Not saying that should be me. I'm just saying if we think about it, if we want to move things along, sometimes things like this would be hugely helpful. So if you are interested in helping out, you can always do that at patreon.com/Jeranism. That would be awesome. And you can also go to paypal.me/Jeran, which is Jeran. That would also be amazing. Or if you want to help out in a very free way, and I want to thank everybody who has ever done this because last month was our biggest month. If you go to j.mp/Jeran, Jeran, AMZ, before you shop at Amazon, we get like a percentage of every sale. And, I've been looking into that a little bit more as we've started to see more people using that link. And some of the percentages are pretty big. So if you're shopping at Amazon anyway, and rather than give that money to Jeff Bezos so that he can launch more fake rockets and tell you how great they are and how we're just a few years away from going to space and all that fun stuff, if you want rather than to give him that full amount, and you would rather maybe have 3% of that or 2% of that go towards me and what I'm doing, you can do that easily by going to j.mp/JeranAMZ. Before you shop, you pay the same exact price. You don't even notice a difference. The difference is they send 2% or 3%, depending on the product. Some things are 0%. Some things are higher than that. They send that to me. So if you'd like some of that money to go to me, you can use that link. That would be awesome. It is in the description, as always. So, but I've heard some people, I was listening to Mac, which is Flat Earth Fokker, the other day, and he had a great idea for a date that we could all choose, that we all join together and we kind of unify, which I totally agree with. But there's been some issues with that. But I thought one of the things that was interesting that he said was that he is grateful that people are making shirts. Like, yeah, why wouldn't you be? And if you don't like the shirts, if you don't like spending money on Flat Earth shirts, then guess what? Try this. Don't. Did you catch that? Don't do it. Thank you so much, Jack, Flat Earth. Appreciate that. And Flat Earth Vegans. Awesome. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Appreciate that. It helps a ton. So let's move along. And Flat Earth Fokker, great channel. There's so many channels I wish I could promote and yell out and scream out. Just search Flat Earth. Find these guys that are out there that are making great content and talking the truth, pushing the truth. That's all you should care about. Do we have different opinions on many things? Absolutely. Do I have a different opinion than Flat Earth Fokker on some things? Sure. Yeah. Do I have a different opinion than Bob or Iru or John the Morgow? Absolutely. But we all have one thing in common, that we've noticed that we're being lied to on a mass level and we're being enslaved by a group of elites that gets off on fooling you. It's basically the truth. That's basically what's happening here. And I'm going to show you some ways that they go about doing that. So let's begin the show with first... and I also want to thank everybody real quick who came out to Canada. That was really appreciated. Great conference out there. Thank you, Robbie, for putting it on, and to all the speakers for joining us out there. Great times. And if you have nothing to do, come November 14th and 15th, 2018, head over to Denver. You can all stay at Bob's house. Tell Bob I said I was okay. And you can check out the 2018 Flat Earth Conference, which will be awesome. I'll be making a presentation there. So join me if you'd like to say hello and shake my hand. It would be awesome to meet you. So let's move on to, first and foremost, this Stephen Hawking thing, because I just wanted to point some stuff out and make sure people understood really what's going on and why I call Kat Bobineau a flat-out liar. So we will point that out here in 1 second if I can get this ready. All right. And if you have any questions for me, by the way, the best way to do that is still, by far, let me get this up so you can see. Here we go. Is ask.fm/Jeran. I'm sorry, ask.fm/Jeranism. And that's a place you can just ask a question. It can be anonymous, or you can sign up for an account, and then it's under your account, and you'll get alerts whenever I answer you or whatever. But if you look up in the upper right-hand corner of this website, you'll see that 1,662, that is the number of questions I've answered. So unfortunately, it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in the world. It's the one reason I'm trying to kind of develop something like this for myself, is you can't search this, which is a complete and total joke. If you scroll down enough, I guess you could, like I'm doing here, scroll to the bottom, then it'll open up, scroll again, open up, scroll again. You could do that for basically the second half of your life, and you'll eventually get to the first question I ever answered. And then you could do your Control F, and then put moon or whatever, and you will get all the questions or answers that have moon in them. By clicking next, there's moon, 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 and so on forth. So it was originally the reason I started doing this site is I figured, hey, this will be great because then I don't have to answer the same questions over and over again. But I didn't know it wasn't searchable at the time, so it's kind of a, who's going to scroll to the bottom to find all my answers. But if you do have a question, I think I'm only, let me see here on my phone, like 14 questions behind. So thank you so much, Raw Truth. Appreciate that so much. You're the best. You're the bomb. Thank you, guys. This is really cool. Thank you so much. But if you go to this ask.fm, ask me a question. I'm only 18 behind, so I'll catch up probably later tonight or tomorrow. And so it's the best way to get a quick response from me. Emails are overwhelming, and so are messages on all the different various platforms. So if it's something important, hopefully you can head over there and ask it, and I will eventually get back to you. And I do apologize and appreciate everyone's patience with that. So now that that's up, let's go on to talk a little bit about Miss Kat Bobineau. Let's see here. All right, so first of all, everybody remembers, I'm sure, the show Stephen Hawking's Genius, where supposedly he's going to pick, I think it's, let's see here, he says it's regular people, everyday people. So, for instance, one of the people you may recognize is this Jim Fitzsimmons. You'll also notice next to his name it says PhD, okay? So, ordinary person, but this particular guy, he's got a PhD. We also can notice, if we go to the next person that you may remember from the show, her name is Joy NG, okay? Here you go. We can find her here, Joy NG. She is an earth science multimedia producer, computer media specialist. Here's her contact info. Here's her email, personal URL. And here's her research interests, and her biography says Joy NG is a multimedia producer within the Earth Science Multimedia team. She is an MSc in Science Media Production from Imperial College London, has a background in biology. She has worked in productions with National Geographic, the Royal Institution, and the Good Old Royal Society. So if we move forward a little bit here, we will see that here's an article with her talking to Goddard, and you'll notice that she is an employee of Goddard. And if you don't know what Goddard is, it is a NASA offshoot. It is a NASA, she's a NASA employee. So number one, we've got Stephen Hawking promoting this idea of genius, and he's going to get regular people, everyday people, to tell us where we live or help figure out where we live. They make this show, and they happen to use Joy NG, who is a science producer. We also, thank you very much, Josh Horn, appreciate that. We also have another person by the name of Kat Bobineau. And you can read this here, and she says that her favorite thing about working at Goddard's is she's a science storyteller. Here you see her holding up a small globe with Kat Bobineau and Jim Fitzsimmons. What did you learn from working on Genius? And basically she says she likes telling stories. She likes being a NASA storyteller. So now we go, and we are going to find a portion of this video, if I can find it here. All right, let me switch this over so you can
My
see what
name
I'm
is
saying.
Stephen Hawking, and I believe that anyone can answer big questions for themselves.
All right, so we just saw the three of them. And I just wanted to show you a few things on this that should help you understand. Now remember, let's go with a little quick timeline here. Remember that in 2015, around February for me, might have been earlier for some people, there started to be some videos on YouTube about Flat Earth. And by 2016, here comes this television show by Stephen Hawking that is supposed to be the show Genius, and regular everyday people going out and proving where we live, et cetera, et cetera. And so this is the show that they produce. Now, as a globe believer, this should be really cool to you. You're like, yeah, all these ridiculous flat earthers on YouTube, all they have to do is go to this Genius show, which is on PBS, publicly funded television, where they're going to explain it to us. Okay, great. Show me the science, right? So let me show you some of the issues that we have with this show. First off, I want to go to a particular point in this program and show you something that is said by one of the people, and her name is Kat Bobineau. So we're going to listen real quick and see what she says here.
Earth are 6 feet apart. Up in the sky, the real moon is about 240,000 miles away.
It worked. I'm not a scientist, and
Okay, let's hear that again. I want to see if you can hear if I turn this off. 1 second. See here.
To be able to just do that off a whim and it just came to me, that was
Desert. The scale in the sky. The real moon is about 240,000 miles away.
it worked. I'm not a scientist,
It worked. I'm not a scientist.
and to be able to just do that off a whim and it just came
Right.
to me, that was incredible.
That was incredible, right? Because she's not a scientist. You know, that's what she's gone on to tell us. So then somebody needs to explain this particular video, which we will find here shortly. Okay. This is just a YouTube video. It's called In the Know with Kat Bobineau, her television reel, published on March 14th, 2016. That is before the video came out. So before the video we just saw with her saying, I'm not a scientist, this is the video that we have to go off of. Let's let you watch this one. And pay no attention to the text at the beginning or it kind of gives away the secret, but let's go ahead.
My name is Kat Bobineau, and I am a scientist. I was born and raised here in Oakland, California. I grew up watching Bill Nye, the Science Guy. He was my favorite.
So you are a scientist. Okay, that seems to be a little bit different than you just said in a show that you did after that. So let's listen to her here tell us a little bit more about what she does.
If they go into the STEM fields. I was offered a internship at KQED, which is a PBS channel, and
So she was offered a internship at KQED, which is a PBS channel, but she's just an ordinary person picked up by Stephen Hawking for this PBS show, right?
I have been working in the science department to help get some of their material out to the public like you. What I would like to do is give viewers an opportunity to see what type of jobs there are if you decide to go into science, technology, engineering, and math. I have a segment on television called A Cat Knows.
So basically, long story short, Kat Bobineau is a scientist. Okay? Is not a scientist. So basically you have liar over here, Kat Bobineau, telling us she's not a scientist and how amazing it is that she came up with it. Well, the answer was given to her. It was handed to her. Flat out. Here, say this. Now, who in their right mind would read a script that says, okay, what do I say here? Then I say, I'm not a scientist. Wait a second. I am a scientist. Why would I say this line? Well, because we're lying to the world about the shape of the earth, so you need to lie about it. Oh, I thought this is for science. I thought we tell the truth. I thought we're honest. We're fact-based. And no, not here. We need you to lie and tell people you're not a scientist. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That's what we have here. So when you see some of the nonsense that takes place throughout this video, maybe it will become clear what's going on here. When you've got the globe, if the globe is true, then you don't need to lie to tell us how true the globe is. You don't need a liar to pretend like she's not a scientist and that she really is a scientist. You don't need to hire somebody from Goddard who makes videos and science story tells. You don't need a PhD. You just need ordinary people to tell the truth of the earth being a globe. What do we need liars for? So you've put this liar in your television program and you want me to believe the facts and figures you come up with? Sorry, not the way it works. Not for me. And now we're going to show some issues with this video. Let me bring you back over here and show you some hilarious things. There's so many in here, and if you want to watch Globebusters from 3 weeks ago, I believe the name of the show is something to do with the fraud that is the PBS Stephen Hawking show. We go through even more. We highlight a couple videos, but let me just show you a few things. First of all, let's watch this part here. He's taking a look across the water here. And this is just sorry, didn't mean to do that.
All right, that is awesome.
Well, let's look at this part here. Many of these things were pointed out already, but I just want to show you a few of them. You'll notice here that they're talking about who's going to stay at the telescope, who's going with the actual craft or with the helicopter. Now, I want you to notice something real quick here. These are just little things, but you'll notice there is no doors on this helicopter. She's actually scared and saying, I didn't know there'd be no doors on here. She's kind of nervous. We got no whoops, but there is doors. So I thought, why are they taking off with doors when now there's no doors? Look at the cars in that parking lot, too. Just interesting to point out. Makes no sense why there would be no doors. Now now it's open here, but telescope, and that could be just editing. Oh, it's just B-roll. All right, whatever you say. Now here you've got Jim Fitzsimmons looking across the water here. He spots this helicopter. Okay, here it is. He's talking to them, saying, okay, tell me when you lower down, and I'll tell you when I can't see you. Okay, so tell me, which way is this helicopter pointed? Okay, and the reason I ask you is because he's looking across the water right now, and we can clearly see that the front of the helicopter is white. Let's go back and make sure that that is correct. Pick up a picture of this helicopter. Okay, the front is white, the back is yellow, correct? Let's go there. There you go. Front is white, back is yellow. So he's looking across the water at this helicopter. Front is white, back is yellow. Okay? You're looking across the water. Now I want you to see something here. As they start to lower, oops, go back just a hair. Here they're lowering. Now hold on a second. Which way is this looking from? He would be across the water, correct? He's looking across the water at the helicopter. Which way would it be pointed? Well, it would be pointed to the right. The white side should be pointed to the right. You're over here. He's looking across the water to see when it hides behind the curve. You're over here looking across. The white side should be pointed to your right. Let's watch again and see which way it's pointed. Okay, clearly it's pointed to the right. He's looking across the water. Let's see what he sees. Okay, and then this is where it's obviously hidden behind the water, and he'll tell him to come back up or whatever. But it's completely not even the same video shot. It's not even the same at all. They're just making it up. It's a complete and total lie. It's a complete and total joke. Has nothing to do with reality. There's no testing here. There's no science being done here. There's only the science of lying to your face. That's the only thing being done. So now it starts rising up, and he's going to see it. Only the problem is there. It should be pointed to his right. Let's see which way it's pointed when he rises up. Here he comes, and let's see. It should be pointed to his right. He's looking from across the water. Which way is the front? Oops, pointed to the left. Pretty sure that debunks the whole frickin' show. Now, if you even go further, you will see that in the episode that we did on Globebusters, we even talked more about the altimeter and his craft, which Bob does a great job of debunking. You'll see that they come up with exactly 24 feet, which is hilarious because if you go to the curve calculator and put in 6 miles, it is exactly 24 feet. The whole thing is nothing more than science storytelling. It's telling you lies and nothing more. It is not science. It is not educational. It is not experimental. It is not testing. Nothing. It is nothing but science storytelling. Total and complete lie. And you can go back to when they do the laser test, and you can see flat out from that, we've got this laser being tested, and they're saying, okay, we shoot it across the water. You'll see Stephen Hawking saying, well, if the Earth is flat, then this laser should stay flat with the water. Is that true? Yes. What's the problem? Well, he forgot to mention that we must make sure that this laser is level. Because if you point the laser up into the sky, will it stay level with the flat Earth? No, it'll grow this way. That makes sense. Okay, so as long as we level the laser, we're good. So the very first thing that happens is you'll see her. Let's go back here. Start off. Let me turn up the volume so you can hear what she says here.
The size and shape of the Earth. But can the team work it out? To help them,
Okay, I'm stopping it right there because I want you to see 30, 31, 32. So you're talking about 31 inches high, which is 2 feet, 7 inches. Let's hear what she says.
they need a few tools.
2 feet, 7 inches.
Okay, she just said 2 feet, 7 inches. Okay, that's where it hits the water there. Got you. Or that's where it hits the stick. So they now send these people out 500 feet. That's it, 500 feet. And they do a remeasurement, I guess. I don't know. But if we're going to see if it's level, then I could see that. Send them out 500 feet and make sure that that next beam is at 2 feet, 7 inches. And if you want to figure out the curvature on that distance of 500 feet, we'll go figure that out real quick. Let's pop this back over. Let's go over here to the curve calculator. And let's see. So we have an eye height of basically 0 when you're doing this kind of you're not worrying about the eye height here. We can just go eye height, target distance of, and this says miles. We're doing they're doing 500 feet, sorry. So that is like 0.1. We'll actually figure it out exactly so I can be exact with that. And we're going to go 500 and this way. Here we go. All right, so it's 0.095. So we're going to go 0.095. and calculate the curvature on that and hidden target height. Oops, that's not right. Sorry. What did I do wrong here? Oh, 0.095. There we go. Knew something was wrong. 0.095. Calculate. Okay. 0.006 feet. Okay. Do you know how much that is? It's less than it's tiny, tiny, tiny little amount. Less than an inch. Okay. So we can figure out now. We're going to go back to here. And so there should be less than an inch change between the 2 feet 7 inches and the boat at the 500 feet mark. So we're watching. It's showing this part again. We saw that. And let's see where it hits the boat. Here we go. Okay, so that's kind of tracking along. You see there's like multiple lights, it seems like. But all right, that one there. Let's stop right here. Here's the surface of the water. Do you think that that's 2 feet 7 inches? Sorry, you're not seeing me. I see that. Sorry. Don't kill me. Here we go. All right. So this line here, this little dot here, can you see my? I don't know why you're not seeing my. There we go. That dot there, is that 2 feet 7 inches? They don't even measure it. They don't measure it at all. So they're just okay. Well, they're just assuming, I guess, that this laser's level. They didn't look at that. Look at that dot. Is that 2 feet 7 inches from the water level? I don't think so. But how would we know? They don't even measure it. They just go on this little paper, measure a dot. And what's even worse is when they start to pull away here. So see where that dot is. And then she says, okay, now I need you to go out even further. You'll see here shortly. Anybody see the beam on her neck? What is? Why is the beam up on their necks? Thought they just measured it. Oh, now it goes by their... Well, how did it get up on both of their necks? I don't know. Again, could be an editing mistake, but is certainly crap. And then again, they get out here and they mark the next part on the board, and they say, oh, well, now it's 6 feet taller. No measurements, not even a measuring tape, not even a ruler, just assumptions, nonsense. So you've got liars who are doing the program. I tried to get in contact with Jim Fitzsimmons. He emailed me back and said he was not interested in having a conversation about the show. He'd done a couple interviews where he talked about integrity. And I thought, if you're so Mr. Integrity, then you clearly have no problem having a conversation with me about how were these tests handled? Who leveled the laser when you shot it? How did the whole thing go down? Why is the helicopter facing in the wrong direction? Why in the world would you allow Cat Bobineau, a scientist, to say, I'm not a scientist, but it's really cool I was able to do this? Yeah, those would be my questions. He didn't want to answer them. So be it. So be involved in the PBS Lie program, and that's what it is. And what does it do? It speaks to millions of people who watch PBS, and they all just see it, and they all just say, well, I guess the Earth's a globe because Stephen Hawking proved it with these ordinary people who have nothing to do with science, who don't have PhDs, even though they do. So anyway, that is a bunch of crap, and I wanted to make sure people understood what is going on there. And you can watch the whole show, and like I said, watch the Globebusters episode where we basically break it all down. It's such nonsense. The next thing that they do is with this model of the sun and the earth. Let's listen to this.
So, what's in the box?
What's in the box? I bet you don't have any idea.
Okay. So
Oh.
it's a tiny earth.
Mm-hmm.
A tiny moon.
Tiny earth and moon.
These are scale models of the Earth and
These are scale models of the earth and moon.
their relative size was first discovered by the ancient Greeks
Mm-hmm.
thousands of years ago.
Thousands of years ago, the relative size was found by ancient Greeks. Yep. Where's the proof of
Back
that?
then,
Nowhere.
the genius who worked it out was a man called Aristarchus.
If you look at the moon, there's a bright crater.
Okay, so Aristarchus is the one that supposedly figured this out. Somebody do the research on Aristarchus and see that he thought that the sun was 18 to 20 times further than the moon. Today, it's 400 times. So they're referring to him like he's some sort of genius, that he was so far off that he's not even close to any of today's numbers, but they say, the genius who figured it out. I can't do Stephen Hawking's voice, sorry. You'll have to just pretend it's through a speak and spell. If you have one at home, go ahead and type in what I say, and then it will look like Stephen Hawking said it. But for him to then claim, oh, the genius that figured it out, he figured out what? It's all nonsense. He actually looked at the moon and said, oh, well, the angle from the sun to the moon is 87 degrees. Today they say it's 89.5 or whatever. He also said that the angular size of the sun and the moon were 2 degrees. So is this a genius when it's actually 0.5? Is it half a degree and he saw it was 2? That's way off. That's 4 times as small. So either the sun and the moon are 4 times as small as they were at that time, or the guy wasn't very good at doing observations, and we shouldn't be referring to his work. But here's the problem. You cannot figure out the distances to the items in our sky without first knowing one of their distance or sizes. Well, that's the problem. Who gave us the distance or size of anything in the sky? Nobody. And that's why nobody knows. If you think somebody knows the distance to the sun, you're confused. If you think somebody knows the distance to the moon, you're confused. If you think they know the size, you're confused. Think they know the size of the sun? Very confused. Because who measured it? It's all mathematics. It's all mumbo jumbo, nothing more. And let's move along even further. So what they were given in this little test, they were given a model Earth and a model moon, and then said, okay, now go out and figure out how far away the moon is from the Earth and what size and how far away the sun is. Well, and then they say, yep, see, ordinary people figured out the distances and how it all worked. No. Hold on. Who, for instance, brought the gigantic sun to Earth and said, here, guys, blow this up, and now you know the size of the sun. And now figure out how far away your little Earth and little moon are from this giant sun that we've given you. Well, who the hell gave you the sun? How did you know this? How did you know the size of the sun? Well, Stephen Hawking, the genius, speak and spell himself, he's the one who gave them the sun size and then said, now figure out, oh, it's real hard. You've given us half the equation that you want us to get to the answer of, and then told people that we figured it out on our own when they didn't figure out shit. They were handed the answer. So congratulations. Thank you, PBS, for brainwashing a world with crap, with nonsense, with science storytelling that has no basis in fact, no basis in reality. And all the little globeheads, they eat it up. Nom, 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 nom. Nom, 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 nom. Oh, give me more. Nom, 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 nom. What did Newton say? Nom, 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 nom. It's just ridiculous to me that we have to keep putting up with this kind of nonsense, and people aren't smart enough to see their way out of the deception. Think about it, folks. Go out tonight and look at the damn stars and realize somebody's telling you that the closest star is 25 trillion miles away. The best way to think of how far 25 trillion miles is 1 second. We know how long a second takes. Boom, 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 boom. That a trillion seconds, 1 trillion seconds, is 31,000 years. Okay? And they want you to believe that you can see 25 trillion miles. Give me a break. I mean, it's such a joke that anybody, go out and look tonight, and if you look, I think where Mars will be, there will be a star slightly, tonight it'll be to the right, I think, a little bit to the right of Mars. And all you have to do is look at those two things and then calculate the distance apart, and you'll just be like, what? This is all such crap. Look at Mars and the moon tonight and realize that those two things are some 50 million miles away. It's just a joke. It really is ridiculous that we ever believe this stuff. And I believed it too. I'm certainly not saying by any stretch of the imagination, I'm better than you, I know more than you, or nothing. No, I was just like you. I sat in school and said, I'm learning the truth, and here it comes, and I'm going to regurgitate it, and look how smart I am. I did all that. And I thought that I knew the truth. Why? Because when somebody tells you to believe a lie, it's so easy. Think of how easy it is, how lazy you can be to believe in a lie. If I told you all right now I'm a doctor, and you all just said, let's believe it, Jaren's a doctor, you just in 1 second believed a lie, how easy it was. You didn't have to get off your ass. You didn't have to think. You didn't have to do anything. You just believed the lie. And that's what we were all taught to do when we were sat in desks and given books. Here, believe this lie. Okay? Read it. All right, I believe it. Boom. Done. No work involved. No work needed. But if you want to know the truth of whether I'm a doctor or not, you're going to have to do a little bit of research. You're going to have to look into my background. You're going to have to ask for some paperwork. You're going to find out I'm not a doctor. But that took work. It's not okay just for lazy Sly Sparkane to just, I guess I just believe it. It takes no work to do that. No work at all. And, it's just a joke that all these people think they're so smart because they don't do anything but just repeat what's in books. Yeah, you're real smart. You just repeated what somebody wrote 300 years ago. I'm not impressed. And again, if we're going to be deceived, okay, if as a group, as a human group, we're a group of humans, if we're going to be deceived, it's going to be because we listen to people who tell us, don't look into that. It's already been discovered. Don't check on that. Don't believe what these jerks that say the earth is flat believe. You have to believe what we've already known. You don't even have to look into it because it's already been thousands of years of science. Easy. That's how you'll be deceived. The way that you can make sure you're never deceived is by looking into everything, checking everything. When somebody tells you the Coriolis force, you look into it, you figure it out, you learn about Coriolis, and you realize it's impossible. Okay? It's not the Earth atmosphere is not traveling along with the moving Earth. Ladies and gentlemen, think about that for a second. Think that we know that planes leave New York, and we know that planes leave San Francisco, and if they're going, from San Francisco to New York and New York to San Francisco, we know actually that the plane going to New York gets there faster. But if the Earth was spinning and the atmosphere was just there and the Earth was spinning underneath it, then we know that the planes would get there in vastly different times, right? The plane going to the west would get there incredibly faster because the Earth is rotating towards the plane as it travels there. Now, we know that that does not happen, okay? So number one, we know that we are not spinning with the atmosphere sitting above us. So what did they go to? They went to the atmospheres moving with us. So I hope you understand what that entails. That means that if you got in a helicopter and you hovered up to 100 feet, that helicopter is being moved with the entire atmosphere column above it and below it, along with the moving Earth. No sense at all. And then you have to realize that when a plane takes off from New York and it's flying towards California, that it is also moving backwards as it spins with the Earth towards the east. Complete and total nonsense, folks. Please use your head. Think outside the box. Do not just believe every word that you're told, or you will be left in the dust when all this gets settled. And it's going to take a while until we get more people to wake up to the fact that we've been lied to on a mass scale. So basically, when you give somebody the big yellow ball there and say that's the sun, and then give them a model Earth and then a model moon and say, now figure out how far away it is. Well, that's not, what are you doing? You've already given them all the answers, and you're just saying, here, figure out this puzzle I made. Cool, fantastic. You didn't discover shit. Nothing. Nothing at all. And so the whole video is a bunch of them doing the same thing. If we give you this little bit, can you figure this out? Well, of course. Yeah, they talk about the Coriolis force here. Let's watch a little bit of this. What is this thing? Okay. So they're going to now talk about the Coriolis force and how we know we're spinning. Okay, and they talk about the fact that if you throw these balls across from each other as you're going around this little roundabout, let's get it to a point where they throw the ball. Okay, so the thing is spinning, and they're going to take this little ball here in a second. Move this thing down. There we go. All right, so Jim is pushing them around, and are you going to throw the balls or what? Somewhere in there. But when they do throw the balls, as we all know what happens on a roundabout, is because you are spinning and the air is a separate reference frame, that when you throw that ball, it is diverted, from the view of the people spinning. It is a false force. It is a fictitious force because it is just an observation. It's not really curving, but to the people on the moving platform, the ball appears to curve. Now, what's the problem with that? I'll show you. Okay, here we go. So this is where they throw the ball. So they're using this to explain the Coriolis force. Does anybody notice a problem with this test, experiment, whatever? I'm sure George Netanuk needs to observe closely because the problem is that in this particular video, the atmosphere is not moving with the spinning thing. Because if the atmosphere was spinning with this spinning thing that they're on, well, then there would be no deflection. Okay? Because the ball would travel straight inside the moving atmosphere. But in the Earth, we know, according to them, of course, that the atmosphere is spinning with the Earth. And we just proved that because I said if it wasn't spinning with the Earth, then clearly planes leaving New York would get to California much quicker than a plane going from California to New York, which is not the case. Therefore, we know in their model that it must mean that the atmosphere moves along with the spinning Earth, which means this test is as bogus and complete bullshit as it gets. Because where's the atmosphere? The atmosphere needs to be moving with your little spinning car, and then when you throw the ball, there'll be no deflection. But people still want to believe in these shows and think that they're actually learning something when actually they're being deceived on a mass level. And this is another thing that proves that this whole ridiculous nonsense of the Foucault's pendulum, because of course the pendulum is moving with the Earth. And if the atmosphere was moving with the moving Earth, then guess what? There would be no deflection of a pendulum because it's moving in the atmosphere that's moving with the Earth. In order to have the deflection, you need to have something moving and something stationary. So what do you think is moving and what do you think is stationary on the Earth? Well, I'm pretty sure the Earth is stationary. You ever felt it move? Me neither. At all. And think of it, flying through space and all these things. You don't think it would ever just get jolted to where we would have an entire earthquake, like the entire ball Earth quakes? Never happened. Why? Because we're stationary. And sometimes underneath you, the lava flow, the ground, whatever, it needs to adjust and it causes earthquakes. Beyond that, the Earth doesn't move. Okay? The Earth does not fly through space. The Earth does not spin through space. The Earth is not a planet like the other ones that we see in the sky. Those things are all assumptions. They're all presuppositions. Nothing's been proven, and yet we've let these guys tell us it's the truth simply because their worldview must include no creator. It must include spontaneous, I don't want to call it spontaneous generation, but whatever you call something from nothing, there was just nothing, and then boom, here we go. Now we got everything that there ever was, all existing in one split second. Call it the Big Bang, and then call that science? Get out of town. Get out of town. It's a bunch of bullshit, a bunch of nonsense. So let me show you other problems with the globe real quick. Sorry if I'm rattling through things. I've got a lot going on here. All right, so let's look at the globe, okay? I want to show you why we have a problem with the globe. You have everybody who says, like the sun rises in 90 degrees east and it sets at 270 on the equinox and how perfect this all is, and people just don't want to go to like Google Earth and learn. So let's do it together. Okay, we're on Google Earth. Here we go. I've pre-drawn some red lines here. Hopefully you can see them. I hope you can see my mouse. I'm not positive if you can. If not, I'm talking about the 3 red lines center of the screen, and then you'll see a 4th one down here. Now, what do these lines have in common? Number 1, they are all 2,000 miles. Number 2, they are all pointed directly east from this place at the 100 longitude. So let me show you. This longitude here is the 100 line. Let's get down so you can see it. There we go, 100.25. There we go, 100. So you see 100.5, 99.5. Hey, Brandon, shout out to Brandon since I see that on here. So we're starting at the 100 line, and we are moving directly east. Now, this is a little bit strange because why is east all pointed at the equator? No matter where you're at, you're looking east, and you're looking at the equator. Now, let me show you a bigger problem. So when people say, well, the sun rises for everyone on the equinox in the east at 90 degrees. Well, yeah, they're all looking at the equator. You might think east is this way, but nope, sorry, east is this way. Let me show you even a bigger problem. Okay, so this line here we said, and I'll show, and I don't think you can see the size, so, I mean the miles, I don't think you can see that thing. So I'm just drawing a line here so you can see again. It is at exactly, it's about 89 point, oh, there we go, 90 degrees, and that's 2,025 miles, okay? So we're just going to save that. So now think about this. If I'm standing here, and this person is 90 degrees east of me, then if I grab the measuring tool, and I'm about to measure back to the west, okay? I want to go 270 degrees west. Who thinks this is 270 degrees west? If you do, well, it might be because you were lied to when you were taught things in school. And it might be because you're watching Wolfie videos and you're watching Slice Barkane videos who can do nothing but repeat what they've been taught and have no idea that they're being lied to on a mass scale, and they're going to keep lying to others because the only good thing, well, there's nothing good that can come from somebody deceived because the only thing they can do is deceive more people. That's it. So you can watch deceived people if you want, and they will continue to deceive you. 270 degrees west is, and 2,000 miles west is 270. Let's get down here. That's 2,000 miles and 270 degrees. There. Okay. So let's think here. You're standing here. Somebody is 90 degrees to your east. Now this person stands here and you said, hey, where's 270 west? Shouldn't this be 270 west? Not here. So you have to start to understand, why is this 270 west? Well, because when the sun sets on the equinox, you need this person looking at the equator. So this is the problem. This is the proof that there's a problem with the globe. If you can't see it, good day, sir. Have fun. Enjoy your life. Go be lied to. I can tell right away, number one, you're a lazy ass because you just want to be given truth, and that's it. You don't want to do any work. So guess what? I'm a doctor, and the globe earth works. Enjoy that. For those of you out there who are looking for the truth, you are being shown why the globe earth doesn't work and why we need to start coming together to tell the world, because we have a problem with the entirety of humanity being enslaved by some jackasses. Okay? And no, I don't think, I'll bring that up here in a second because it's pissing me off when I keep hearing that. So this is one of the problems with the globe. Let me show you another problem with the globe that is ridiculously hilarious, and I don't think people realize it. We're going to go to my browser here, and we're going to go to the magnetic declination map. Let me make sure you can see what I'm doing. Yes. Okay, so this magnetic declination map. Now, if you don't know how that works, if you're trying to figure out which way north is or which way south is or whatever, you might just use your phone, which figures this all out for you because you're lazy and you don't want to find the truth for yourself. You just let your phone tell you. Or you can start to look into it, and you'll find out that no matter where you are, for instance, here where I am, you can see that to see north, I have to realize that there is a plus 12 degree or almost 13 degrees declination positive to the east. Okay? That's all right. I understand that. They say, oh, well, actually it's because the North Pole is over here and the real North Pole, that's the axis of the Earth, is here. Whatever. That's fine. Then explain this one. Let's go down here to South America. We've got a declination of -2. Here we go. We've got a declination of +6, which makes a lot of sense from here to here. Now let's go further down and see what's going on in Antarctica. What's this up? What's up here? Declination of -23. All right, it's not bad. Let's go here. Declination -34. All right, let's go here. Declination -42. How about here? Declination -47. How about over here? Oh, declination -51. How about over here? Oh, declination -53. Let's move even further along here. Let's go way over here. Declination is -70. All right, let's go here. Declination of -82. Okay, let's even go further. What will these crazy declinations come? Let's go way over here. Declination is +116. Okay, so I don't know if you know what that means, but here's one that's -140, -160. Okay, here we go. Declination +176 degrees. Let me explain. You pull out your compass. Okay, which way am I if I want to go north? All right, the compass points you north. You have to turn 176 degrees. If you don't know what that means, it means turn around. Okay, it means completely turn around, and that way's north. I mean, folks, can you not see what's going on here? Can you not see that the earth doesn't work the way we've been taught? That you have to turn around? So, okay, compass showing me north. Nope, sorry. I'm going to turn all the way around, and that way's north. How about magnetic declination? So, yeah, you can see that when people talk, oh, well, if we all look south, we all see the southern star. Well, yeah, but have you factored in declination? Do you realize that Australia has a certain declination? That it's got a +6, and this part of Australia's got, that part of Australia, what? It's a 0? That makes no sense either. Unless it lines up, I'd have to look at the globe, but that doesn't make any sense. But you can go over here to the east coast and now you got a +12. So when this person looks north, they have to change their look by 12 degrees. So it's not quite north. You got to change it. And then you can start to see where something like that could be hidden, to where somebody's looking in a certain direction from there. Somebody from Cape Town has a -24 degree declination. So when they're telling you, we all look in the same direction at the southern star. No, you don't. Have you figured in your declination? Have you figured in that one person's looking 12 degrees one way, the other person's looking -24 degrees another way? I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. Go down to Argentina. We get a +13 here. So hopefully you start to see and you understand that mathematicians and smart people are very smart, and they're smart enough to fool us all with numbers. And they've done it. They've done it. And then people come to me, well, Jaron, how does the sun work? How does gravity work? How the hell would I know? I sat in school like you did and learned lies. How the hell would I know the truth? I'm just simply trying to point out that we've been lied to. And then as a group, when a group of people get together and they know they've been lied to, they'll figure out the truth together. They'll figure it out. But I'm worried about battling trolls and people saying I'm doing this for money and all that nonsense, because that's what we get. That's what we get. We don't get anybody who just recognizes the fact that, well, does it do anybody any good to lie like they're saying we lie? No. We're trying to help humanity, even the assholes like Wolfie, like Red, like all these guys. We are trying to help them see that they've been deceived and they just want to fight it. Good for them. Enjoy your lives. Enjoy your ball earth. I hope you have fun. I'm not trying to talk to them. I'm trying to talk to people who recognize that the world is not what they thought it was, who recognize that we've been lied to about some things and are ready to make a change for their children and their children's children so that we're all not leaving this earth in a world of deception, which is what it's in now. We can help get it out, but it's going to take more than 8 of us. It's going to take more than 15, 25 people, 100 people at a meetup. It's going to take a lot of people. So everybody has their own strengths, their own, whatever their attribute is that helps them get the information out. Mine is making videos, talking about it, showing people, trying to explain to people, this is what's going on. I don't know the truth. I'm not saying I understand where we're all placed. I'm not saying I have a map or a model. Many people saw me get, quote unquote, destroyed by Red's rhetoric in a debate. Well, let me explain exactly what happened. I told those guys forever, and if they ever say anything different, they're lying through their teeth, that I was not going to argue on behalf of a flat earth with a model because I don't have a model. So why would I go in? It doesn't make any sense. They kept saying, you got to do a model. You got to back the flat earth model. And I said, screw it. I'll just go in the debate and say, I don't have a model, because here's what they're trying to do. They're trying to trap people into a model, because once you've been married to a model, it's very difficult to get away from it. You can, well, obviously look at every Globe Earth channel that there is. When you argue a model, then you are so set in that model that you can't even see your own mistakes anymore. I'm trying to stay away from that. So I don't want to adopt and say, well, there's a dome, because then when I start looking at evidence, then I might say, that's dome, that's dome. That. So I don't say it because I don't have evidence for it. Is there a lot of evidence that might lead towards that, or a lot of observations that lead me to that belief? Sure. But I'm not going to go on a debate show and argue on behalf of the dome. I don't think it's smart. I think you've been married to the model at that point. And another thing about debates is, guess how much debates matter towards the actual truth? Let me give you a hint. It's a big circle number. It's actually a 0. 0, 0, 0. Doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter if you lose a debate by a landslide. Doesn't change the truth. So I could care less if I lose every debate. Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to the truth. Doesn't matter at all. So they may think, oh, well, we beat Jaron in a debate, therefore we have the truth. No, sorry, it's not the way it works. Didn't change the truth at all. You still believe you live in a mathematical fantasy world, and I believe I live where I see and what I observe and what I experience and what my senses tell me. Wonder who has the better theoretical position there. Pretty sure it's me. So declination proves that there's a problem with the globe. East-west proves there's a problem with the globe. Everyone wants to tell you the equinox means that we proves we're on a globe. No, it doesn't. It proves we all look east when the sun rises above the equinox. And where's east? The equinox, the equator. So, okay, duh, great. This is the problem with these so-called researchers out there who keep just repeating what they read in books. Well, of course you read that in a book, because this is a deception. Get it? You're meant to be deceived. You're not going to find the answers by opening a textbook, okay? Because that's what's been placed there for you to be deceived. Understand that? So if you think going to Honolulu and watching the sunset at 270 is proof of anything other than your inability to see shit, then you're wrong. You're very wrong. So we talked about JoyNG. We don't download Flash Player when it's a lie. And Jim Fitzsimmons is a PhD. Earth Curve Calculator, we did that. Magnetic Declination, we did that. We talked about Ask.fm. What else we got here? And what's this? What time is it? 7. I thought there was one other thing that I wanted to show, and now I don't see it. All right, great. So those things are done. Let me get back over here. We talked about that. And where is my... did I want to do anything there? No. And there. So just showing again, east is 90 degrees from here. And, of course, from here, how could west be 270 this way? So, you know, those are the kind of things that I wanted to point out tonight very quickly. And then I will leave with this, too, or show this as just always hilarious. Oh, I did want to show this. So let me show you this real quick. Can I get this up? Yep. This is it's called NASA's Orion Complete Mission Time Lapse, just something I found today. Where are we at here? Why is that not coming up? There we go. So this is the Orion mission, complete mission time lapse, and this is the kind of shit that we get from NASA. Thank you for that piece of CGI. And let's just watch this for a second, and you can see, remember, $52 million a day, and this is what we get. We get fish-eyed cameras, of course. Couldn't do anything else, or else it would show the truth. Ooh, don't want to do that. Let's put fisheye cameras on everything that goes to space, and the world will just believe us. Well, they're right. So let's continue on here. This is a complete mission time lapse. That looks very real. I mean, I'm not going to question that. Are you? Looks like where I live. I don't know about you. Let's got a little further here. And, oh yeah, let's see. Oh, there we go. That looked real. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why anybody would question this stuff, personally. It's so legit, so real for somebody making $52 million a day who can't even provide HD footage. Why not? The best HD camera that there is, probably $100,000, maybe $500,000. Okay, buy one of those, and NASA only has $51,500,000 to spend today. Ooh, I'm sure we're going to have much less space-dried astronaut poop or whatever they sell. Oh, yeah, that looks real. Yep. I live there. I think I live right there somewhere, right about there. And let's see. Okay, that looks real. Let's move along a little further. I want to show you this thing where it's coming down because it's certainly real. All right, so I moved forward a little bit. Oh, that looks real. Who else agrees? I'm pretty sure. Yep, I live right there. And, let's see. Flash, and that must be it in space. Flash, and, okay, that view, and now flash again. Give me a better view. Yep, ball Earth, proven. What's that? Who's taking this picture? What happened? By the way, this is the actual Orion mission, just in a time-lapse format rather than watching it all slow and nonsense. What's going on? Now the sky is becoming blue. Well, that must mean, there it is. See it falling? There it is. See it? There it goes. Falling through the atmosphere. There, catch it. Yeah, parachutes. Yep, there's a parachute. Things falling through the sky. Can anybody see it? There it is. Man, that is so true. That's fact. Yep. What happened there? Okay, we got a new... Wow. Way to go. Congratulations, NASA. No, I'm just clapping for NASA. Don't get excited, puppy. Dog was pretty upset about that, but don't worry. I'm just clapping for NASA's beautiful imagery. Their CGI is pretty perfect, if you ask me. I just want to see that part again of it falling through the atmosphere because that looked boring. Oh, there it goes. Yeah. That was real. Puppy didn't like it too much. But, yeah, it is real as it gets. And then the only other thing I wanted to show, and I lost it, it was somewhere on here, was a picture from the Mars orbiter thingy. See if I can find it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Curiosity rover snaps gorgeous picture. Oh, no, not that one. I want the one of the little orbiter machine thing. What is that? Let me find it for you, and I will finish on that. Hope I can find it. Mars Curiosity rover. No, I want the Maven. That's what it is. Mars Maven selfie. Let's see here. Yeah, this one. All right. Okay, Mars. Oops, I got to bring you with me. Sorry. 1 second. I need a producer. All right. And they couldn't keep up with me anyway. Browser. There we go. All right. Here we go. This is a Newsweek article. Saying NASA's Mars Maven craft captures selfie on 4th birthday. Anybody want to see this image? You're about to see it right down here. There it is. Wow. In all its glory. Distorted photo composite of spacecraft. This image is a composite selfie taken by Maven's Imaging Ultraviolet Spectrograph, IUVS, instrument, and that normally locks ultraviolet emissions from the Mars upper atmosphere. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. $52 million a day. Now, imagine somebody gave me $52 million one time. Said, here, Jaron, here's $52 million. Think of what would be expected of me. Imagine. And NASA gets that every day and does nothing but provide selfie pictures like this. What is this? And you know what? Globers just, they eat it up. Nom, 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 nom. Nom, 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 Maven. Nom, 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 spacecraft. Nom, 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 nom. Eat it up. Eat up the lies. You're being lied to. and that is all I know. So, guys, it's been fun. I wanted to do a quick comeback, get my feet wet, get it going again. Look forward to many more live streams. Again, go to ask.fm if you have questions for me. If you would like to donate to the channel to see continued work by me, you may do so at patreon.com/Jeranism or paypal.me/Jeran, Jeran. That would be awesome. And you can also use the Amazon link if you'd like to donate through that way. I appreciate it so much. Look forward to much more interaction with you guys coming up very soon. So until then, as I always say, do your own research, because when you do, you'll never again believe what you've been taught. Till next time, guys, this has been Jeranism, back. Till then, peace.